Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
We are joined with Dustin. Now, Dustin, just before I start, I'm going to let people know that you're fighting on the Shamrock FC card coming up. You've been out for a little bit though, haven't you? It seems like you've had a little break from what I can see from looking at your background. What's been happening?
Yeah, I've been almost out for almost 2 years now. Suffered a back injury, and I took some time off to heal, kind of recoup, get my body back to where it needed to be. And I started feeling good again, and came back to it. Already got me a fight lined up and ready to go.
I was going to say, because you were on a really good roll before the injury. Did you have the injury while you were still competing, or while you were still fighting, or did it happen after your last fight and then you injured it? What was the circumstances?
I actually injured it while I was still competing. It happened during a training session, but just being a tough guy that I try to be, I try to push through it and just keep going, but eventually it just kind of caught up to me. My body, I started listening to my body, it told me I needed to take a little time off, heal up. I'm only 25 years old. Just take some time off, heal, get back to where you are, and then, just jump back in there.
I was going to say, it was a very smart decision taking so long off, especially with such an injury with your back. That's something you can't rush those kind of things, because it will come back to bite you on the ass, essentially, and you could be out, full time. I suppose that with the rehab, obviously went with a lot of strength and conditioning, I imagine, to strengthen your back. What have you been doing then with this time off?
I've been doing a lot of rehab, like you said. I've been seeing different specialists. They got me doing different movements, and I've been doing a lot of strength training in my time off. I've been lifting a lot of weights, trying to get my size a lot bigger. I've gained a lot more strength in this year and a half, and put on some size. And I started doing jiu-jitsu before I came back to training. I wanted to tighten up my ground game and just kind of get back to my normal self, And I started lifting, getting back strong. Body started feeling great. And then, I talked to Jesse and Rob up here at Finney's, and first day back, they already had me a fight lined up, ready to go.
With obviously, like you say, like rehab, have you done anything like yoga or stuff like that? Just to open the flexibility of the back as well, to make sure that it's limber enough.
Yeah, actually, funny you said that, because my fiance started doing yoga, and I actually went with her a few times. And that's actually one thing the specialist told me I needed to do, is more stretching, and needed to work on my flexibility more. And I think that's what caused the injury, is not enough stretching and not enough just taking care of my body. But doing this yoga, that's no joke. It's not just for women. That's a serious thing.
Hey Dustin, I am with you on that. I was training and I couldn't do a triangle. I couldn't actually get anyone in a triangle. Like, my coach at the time was pressing my foot down to try and get my foot behind my knee, and he couldn't even get it anywhere. He couldn't get it lower than, like, say, midway past my calf. He wouldn't get it any further because I just didn't have the flexibility in my hips. So I ended up speaking to a friend of mine who, she is into yoga, and she was a yoga instructor actually. And what happened was, I went there and did yoga, and you're right, it's not just some women just sitting around doing nothing. It's really hard, man. I was sweating I was absolutely sweating my tits off. I was absolutely hanging out. I wasn't getting anywhere near the level of flexibility these women were. They made it look easy. I'm absolutely dying trying to even just do something simple like touch my toes, and I couldn't believe how weak and useless I was at it, and they were just killing it. They were absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It works though. Do you know what? I did it, and I tell you what, my triangles came along. Everything in especially in the grappling side of things, my jiu-jitsu, everything got a lot more fluid because of the flexibility that I had. And a lot of that. Sorry, mate. Go on.
I was just saying, I think, that whole flexibility plays a big part in jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and it just makes it that much easier for me to do all these moves and these techniques. My body's able to flow more. I'm able to just move in a rhythm that I wasn't able to before, and it feels great.
Your opponent, Frank Cortez, that you're taking on, like I said, you've been out for a little while, and it's your first fight back. With coming back now, are you going to basically look to try and just have a couple of fights and go to the pro ranks? Because you were doing so well at amateur anyway. Are you just looking to maybe get, I wouldn't say it was ring rust, but you're looking just to get yourself back in the swing of things? Is the pro rank something you're looking to go to next? What's the sketch?
Yeah, before my injury, I think I was on that verge of pro. I think I was almost done with amateurs, and then, next step would have been pros. But then the injury occurred, and I definitely want to take a few fights, probably at least 2 more fights at amateur. So, like you said, kind of get those nerves out of me again, get back in there, get comfortable again, and then just go from there. It's always been a dream. I've always wanted to be a pro fighter, just like hundreds of other people. But I'm so close to finally achieving that dream, and all I gotta do is just push a little further and just work as hard as I've been working.
Yeah, and the good thing is, it's not about rushing it either. Like you said, you wanna have a couple of amateur fights just to get yourself back in it again, because you had that flow, and then you just want to get it back. And once it's there, do you know what? It won't take long again. That muscle memory comes back. That kind of being back in the cage, the feel of it as well, the pressure and all that. It will come. It'll just hit a couple fights, and then you'll be able to go, obviously, move on to those pro ranks and start making a name for yourself there as well.
Yeah, definitely. About 80% of the guys I train with up here at Finney's, they're all pro fighters, and these are really tough guys. I mean, they're all good in different aspects, and they're all helping me just put a whole game plan together, just to make everything work together. My striking, my grappling, my wrestling, just making it all flow into one. And I feel like, training with these guys, they've all been pro for a while. Some have been in the UFC, Bellator. I feel very comfortable and very confident against anybody I go up against, whether it's an amateur or a pro.
It does help having those people around you, especially because they can pass on simple little tips and hints, basically from the mistakes that they've made. When they've been up at those, like say the UFC and Bellator level, they've obviously all made mistakes in their career. Everyone makes a mistake, and the key is to pass that on so people can learn from it.
Exactly, and the coaches here are unbelievable at Finney's. I mean, if you do something wrong, they'll stop you. They'll show you the exact way to do it, and they'll just, it's just repetition. It's all technique. And I'd rather make 100 mistakes in the gym and then be perfect the night of the fight than go into my fight and make all these mistakes that I could have been working on my whole training camp.
Oh, that's exactly right. The last thing you want to be. Guys can go to the gym and then no one will put, maybe they'll never get a triangle put onto them or something, and they'll constantly maybe stop getting put out. They'll never let it get, maybe, do you know when you get to that triangle, I'm using this submission as an example, where it's like 3/4 of the way on, it's not quite got locked in, but there's still that little chance to get that escape in. Some guys don't even get that far when they train. They get they'll stop the leg going over the shoulder and they'll move on. And when it comes to a fight, they'll get to a situation where it is 3/4 of the way on, and they'll panic and they won't be thinking, and they need to drill. They need to get used to getting. They need to in the drill when they drill. They need to literally start with a triangle whacked on, full whack. That's it. Now get out. Now see how you handle that pressure, because when you can handle it in the gym, then you can handle it in the cage.
Exactly. I could not agree with you more.
It's some guys, they don't. It is good to know that you're not getting caught with the triangle. It's good to know that you're seeing it, or any submission. If you can see it coming before it lands, it's always a good thing. But sometimes when you're training, you should let it slip. I always say that guys that train FC, just let it happen sometimes. I used to let guys jump to side control when we start rolling. I'll just kind of fall back and I'd let them go to side control because I want to start in a bad position. I want to be on my back in a bad place. I'd let them get into mount. Okay, I'm in mount, right? Let's get in. Okay, I'll get the half guard from mount. Then I'll get them back into mount because I want to constantly get out of those bad positions so that it's just second nature. It's not a bad position. It's somewhere I've been before.
Exactly, and I'm the same way. I focus on my strengths, but I focus on my weaknesses too. And I start on my back because, same thing you just said. I'll start with somebody in my side control. That way, if for some reason I get put in there in a fight, I won't panic. I'll know exactly what to do. And it's frustrating in training. It's so frustrating because it's my weakest position. I hate drilling it, but I know this is the stuff that's going to pay off in the long run. This is what's going to help me win these fights, keep moving up, and just keep bettering myself.
I am with you, Dustin. If I could get inside control on top of someone, I would do it all day long. I love being there, but you have to do it, man. It sucks, doesn't it? You have to sit there in turtle when someone's got one hook in and just have them trying to rip your neck out, and you've just got to suck it up and get on with it. It sucks, but it tell you what, it pays off big time, man. It really does. You said you were doing a lot of strength conditioning, jiu-jitsu in time off. Was there anything else you went off and done? Was there anything? Have you maybe looked at yourself on videos of your previous fights that you maybe need to work on? Maybe guys don't work on footwork or head movement. Sometimes it's some of the fundamentals in striking isn't always applied in MMA because there is so much taken. Sometimes some's left out. So like I say, a head movement, a simple slip of the jab. A lot of people don't do it. But is there anything like that you've been looking to work on?
That is a great question. That's not something I did in my off time. I just focused kind of on the jiu-jitsu and strength training. But from the beginning of my camp until now, I focused an awful lot on my striking. Because I think by now, anybody that I go against knows that I like grappling. I like jiu-jitsu. But recently, if I do want to go to the pros, I'm going to have to learn how to stand, and I'm going to have to learn how to strike with some of these guys. So that's what I've been working on. I've been trying to work on my speed, finding my distance between taller opponents, shorter opponents, bigger opponents, smaller opponents. And, we have two great striking coaches. They both with me tremendously. They're both great guys. I mean, fighters, so they know what they're talking about. They've had major success, and I have a privilege of them sharing their knowledge with me. And anybody who's in there, the difference. I stand to where I am. I feel great, and I feel pounded.
Dustin, it sounds like you've got a nice set of coaches, like you say. You've got the striking coach who can help you out. It does help having more than one striking coach because they'll maybe if you're working with one for so long, a new pair of eyes can always see something different. That is something that's kind of a kind of blessing there for you. Really, you're kind of lucky. Dustin, then you look like you want to go to the pro ranks, by getting yourself ready for them with striking, which I tell you what will pay off dividends. Starting now, but starting big time, focusing on it, spending a lot of time because all the fights start on your feet. So you want to grapple, you got to get past those fists. So man, you're going the right way. Is what I like to say, mate. You're going the right way about this. Dustin, like I said, you're fighting on the Shamrock FC card coming up against Frank Cortez. Have you got any, let's say, social media stuff that people can jump on?
You guys can follow me on Facebook, Dustin Fischer. I'm on Instagram. You guys can follow me on there. I post a lot of videos, and I'm just some quotes and pictures of the gym and my training partners and just stuff like that. They can see, people see that I'm in there working hard. We have a great team here, like I've been saying. It's not just me. Obviously, I'm the one fighting, but 100% whether I lose goes to my team and coaches because they're the ones that got me this far. And about them, and I put that all over Facebook too.
Hey, look, your teammates, they, like you say, and your coaches, they help you get to where you're going. They help. I mean, you step in that cage, it's all about. It is teamwork. It's an individual thing you do in the cage, but it is teamwork. Teamwork's a huge part of it, man. You're right. Have you got any sponsors, Dustin, helping you out at all?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that last part? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry, buddy. Have you got any sponsors helping you out?
Yeah, my main sponsor is Fastlane and Lane's Car Products. That's actually my company that I work for, and I can't thank my boss, Lane Pietro, enough for allowing me to leave early to come to training. He's a great coach. He's been a great boss, and he's been a really good role model for me. And he supports me, all the way. And I can't thank him enough for allowing him to train, and just anything I need to do to get better, he'll allow me to do it.
Yeah, I needed a boss like that.
Yeah, I am grateful. He's one of very few that I'm sure most people can say, their boss allows them to go do what they want to do. But another one too, is my cousin Cole. My family's been through an awful lot this past year and a half too, with some deaths in our family, and I'm going to be sponsoring them that night too. So I want to give a shout out to them, just tell them I love them. My fiance, she's put up with me since I started this, and as much as she wants me to quit, she wants me to keep going and do what I want to do. And really grateful for everybody just in my life, sponsors, work, family, friends. Just thank everybody.
No, Tyler, you got a good circle of people around you, Dustin. And I tell you, it looks like it can project you. These people around you can help project you up to a very big 2016. So, Dustin, look, we never say good luck because it's not about luck. Not at all. There's no such thing as luck. It's all about how hard you've been grafting down, man. So have a great fight, have a great weekend, enjoy the whole thing, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm just going to go out there and have fun. I'm looking forward to a great fight, I'm not worried about anything. I'm just going to go out there and just do everything I've been working on, and I'm going to have a great night.
Great stuff, Dustin. Right, thank you very much for joining us. And like I say, mate, have a wonderful time at Shamrock FC.